The quiet of Eagles Crest Estates, a manicured enclave on the edge of Charlotte, was shattered one crisp Saturday by the rumble of an unfamiliar car barreling up my driveway. I, Marcus Thompson, a cybersecurity specialist with a penchant for blues and a mean brisket, watched from my porch as two teenagers spilled out of a beat-up sedan, laughing and peering into my windows. My sleek iron gate, secured with a keypad for privacy, stood wide open. "Can I help you?" I asked, keeping my tone civil but firm. "Is this Jenna's house?" one mumbled, confused. "No, Jenna's 3 blocks over." "How'd you get the gate code?" The answer hit like a sucker punch. "Her mom, Mrs. Whitaker, gave it to us. Said it's a shortcut to Jenna's pool." My blood boiled. Cynthia Whitaker, HOA president and self-styled queen of suburban propriety, had turned my private driveway into a public thoroughfare. 3 years ago, I bought this house, a spacious lot set back with a long driveway and what I thought was a peaceful upscale community. The gate was my shield, a modern necessity for a black man who'd worked hard to claim a slice of this neighborhood. But Cynthia, with her frosted bob and an aura of entitlement as sharp as her pastel blazers, had other ideas. From the moment I moved in, she'd singled me out. It started with snide remarks: "Your lawn's awfully bright, Marcus," when I planted vibrant azaleas, or "Some of us prefer Vivaldi to that patio noise," when my B.B. King records drifted over. Then came the microaggression: "Sure Schnauzer, Duchess Sparkles," defiling my prize roses, or pointed questions about my frequent guests, always when black friends visited. But sharing my gate code? That was war. That same afternoon, a pizza delivery guy rolled up, citing Cynthia's helpful tip to use my code when the main road was busy. Enough was enough. Confronting her directly would only fuel her victim act, so I sipped bourbon on my porch, fireflies flickering, and hatched a plan as elegant as it was petty. Cynthia wanted my driveway to be her personal freeway? I'd make her regret it. Logging into my Gates admin panel, I changed the code to her 10-digit phone number. Then, I ordered a custom sign, private property. For gate code, dial Cynthia Whitaker's full phone number. For extra flair, I rigged an old LED display from a side project to flash the first 3 digits of her number 704, followed by a blinking colon, like a countdown, 704. It was a masterpiece of digital revenge, and I couldn't wait for the fallout. The next few days were calm, my smoker filling the air with hickory-scented defiance. The LED blinked 704, the sign below it crisp and official. Wednesday brought the first test. From my home office, I watched Evelyn Stokes, one of Cynthia's loyal minions, pull up in her gleaming SUV. She jabbed the keypad, expecting the old code. Nothing. Her owl-like face twisted in confusion, then fury, as she squinted at the sign and LED. After 3 failed attempts, she backed up, phone in hand, likely calling Cynthia. I smirked, sipping coffee. The ripples of inconvenience were spreading, all pointing back to her. 20 minutes later, Cynthia herself stormed across the street, a vision in a coral blazer, flanked by Evelyn and 2 other HOA cronies in matching pastel. A handyman, Pete, trailed behind, clutching a toolbox like a reluctant soldier. "Marcus Thompson," she shrieked, jabbing the keypad. "What is this outrage?" Her face was a clash of puce and coral. I strolled out, coffee in hand, feigning innocence. "Cynthia, you seem upset. What's the matter?" "You've plastered my personal number on this contraption," she sputtered. "It's harassment." The irony was delicious. "Cynthia," I said, voice dripping with mock concern, "you shared my private code with half the county. I just picked a number you clearly love distributing. Your friends can use it to get through." I gestured to Evelyn, who studied her sandals. Pete muttered about another job and fled, toolbox rattling. Cynthia's eyes bulged. "You people always stir trouble, don't you? Moving into our neighborhood, ignoring our rules." There it was, a racist venom she'd barely veiled. My voice hardened. "The only rule broken was my privacy, Cynthia. You gave out my code. This is the consequence." Pointing to the 704 display, I added, "It even gives a hint." She pounded the keypad, screaming, "This is war, Thompson," as her cronies retreated. I smiled. "Call whoever you want, Cynthia. My property, my rules." The gate stayed shut, the LED mocking her. War? She had no idea. The emergency HOA meeting 2 days later was a circus. The clubhouse reeked of stale coffee and old grudges, packed with Cynthia's pastel-clad army glaring at me. I sat in the back, thermos in hand, ready for the show. Mr. Caldwell, the twitchy HOA president, opened with a nervous cough. We're here to discuss Mr. Thompson's gate issue, raised by Mrs. Whitaker. Cynthia, in a garish lavender suit, stood, voice quivering with rehearsed outrage. I'm a victim of harassment. Marcus has put my phone number on his gate, endangering me. It's intimidation because I uphold our community standards. Gasps rippled through her clique. I stood, calm. Let's be clear. This is my property. I changed the code because Cynthia gave my private one to strangers, teenagers, delivery drivers, anyone. My driveway's not a public road. I paused. I have a pizza guy's statement confirming she told him to use it. Cynthia shrieked. I was being neighborly. With my property, without permission, I shot back. That's trespassing by proxy. I chose her number because she's so generous with private info. The signs clear dial her full number. It's security, inspired by her. A quiet neighbor, Mrs. Larson, spoke up. I've seen cars using his driveway for weeks. I thought they were his guests. Cynthia snapped. Stay out of this, Ellen. Caldwell, sweating, asked Mrs. Whitaker, did you share his code? She stammered. I helped people in a hurry. A community service. A service that breached my security, I said. I'll change the code if she stops. Until then, her number stays. Cynthia leapt up. He's running a criminal operation behind that gate. Spying on us. The room froze. Even her allies blinked. I laughed. Criminal? I designed firewalls for a tech firm. The only crime here is your imagination. Holding up my phone, I added, I do have footage of your meltdown at my gate, Cynthia. Want the board to see it? Her jaw clamped shut, eyes blazing. Caldwell, desperate, brokered a deal. Cynthia would stop sharing my code, and I'd change it to something neutral. She muttered, fine, but hissed as she passed me, this isn't over, Thompson. I smiled. Good night, Cynthia. Keep private info private, okay? The codes stay for now. Cynthia didn't quit. She launched a petty siege. Anonymous HOA complaints about my overgrown lawn, mowed weekly. Unsightly bins, spotless, and blinding security lights, impossible, given her yard's trees. My newspaper vanished daily. Duchess Sparkles dug up my roses, Cynthia cooing. Oh, naughty pup. I added cameras, catching her lingering by my mailbox and accidentally steering her dog into my garden. Then, 2 weeks later, the real escalation came. A police cruiser rolled up as I pruned my roses, singing along to Muddy Waters. Officers Bennett, a calm veteran, and Young, a skeptical rookie, approached. Mr. Thompson? Report of a suspicious individual casing the property, yelling, brandishing a weapon. I blinked, holding up my shears. I'm gardening, officer. These are for roses. Young eyed me warily. Bennett glanced at Cynthia's twitching curtains. ID, please, he said. I complied, adding, my neighbor, Mrs. Whitaker, dislikes me. I bet she called. Bennett's knowing look confirmed it. Document everything, Mr. Thompson, he advised as they left. Cynthia's new tactic weaponizing the police was dangerous and vile. I kept the code, adding a sign, all activities recorded. False reports will be prosecuted. The 704 display blinked on. Cynthia doubled down. Her pink azaleas, Cleek Evelyn, Martha Gibbs, and twitchy Clara Holt swarming my gate, jabbing the keypad in vain. Cynthia arrived, pounding her own number, unaware I'd added a lockout after 3 wrong tries. He sabotaged it, she screamed, spotting me. You suburban terrorist. She rattled the gate, shrieking about public rights and un-American plots, accusing me of poisoning her flowers and blasting jungle music. Neighbors gawked, Mr. Caldwell hid in his shrubs. I stepped out. Cynthia, your number works if entered right. Maybe you're flustered. Her threats escalated. I'll get you, Thompson. The 704 blinked, a silent taunt. A week later, a pompous cease and desist arrived from Vernon T. Gladstone, ESQ, accusing me of harassment, emotional distress, and defamation by gate sign. It demanded I change the code, remove the sign, apologize, and pay Cynthia's distress fees a laughable sum. I hired Lena Carter, a sharp HOA dispute lawyer. She laughed at the letter. Defamation? Your sign states facts. Harassment? She started it. Lena's response demolished Gladstone's claims, and I sent an evidence-packed complaint to the HOA. Silence followed 10 days of eerie calm. Then, Cynthia went nuclear. Small items appeared near my property, a beer bottle, a tacky gnome. I logged them, sensing a trap. Lena had warned. She might plant evidence. At 2:17 a.m., my upgraded cameras caught Cynthia, in a black scarf and hoodie, sneaking to my recycling bin with a duffel bag. She tucked Ziploc bags of costume jewelry and trinkets inside, then fled. My heart raced. She was framing me. I saved the footage, resisting the urge to check the bin. Lena's advice was clear. Let her hang herself. I called Lena at dawn, sending the video. Don't touch the bin, she said. We call the police. This is perfect. I reported a trespasser tampering with my bin, and officers Bennett and Young arrived. I played the footage. Cynthia, clear as day, planting evidence. Bennett, gloves on, found the bags in my bin. Cheap jewelry, silverware, figurines. Cynthia, spotting the cruiser, stormed over in a lemon sundress, Duchess yapping. What's he done now? Drugs? Stolen goods. Bennett held up a bag. Recognize these, Mrs. Whitaker. Her eyes lit up. My mother's silver. My porcelain. He stole them. Arrest him. Bennett's voice was steel. We have footage of you placing these in his bin at 2:17 a.m. Her face collapsed. That's doctored. I was sleepwalking. Young snorted. Bennett cuffed her as she wailed. I'm a pillar of this community. He's the criminal. Neighbors gawked as she was led away, screaming about her lawyer. The 704 display blinked, a final jab. Cynthia's trial was a spectacle. Charged with trespassing, planting false evidence, false reporting, and resisting arrest, she played the frail victim, ditching pink for drab dresses and clutching a Bible. Her lawyer, Gladstone, claimed gate-induced psychosis. Lena and prosecutor MS. Vaughn tore it apart, presenting my footage, neighbor testimony, and Cynthia's 911 call accusing me of theft. Cynthia's courtroom rants claiming I used Carolina voodoo to lock her out. Rude gasps. He's a witch, she shrieked. The judge, Clara Monroe, wasn't amused. The jury took 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Monroe sentenced her to 2 years in Prisano probation. Cynthia sobbed, I'll die in there. Her husband, Harold, slumped, broken. Eagle's crest exhaled. Cynthia's house sold. Harold fled to Georgia. The HOA apologized, axing her petty bylaws. I changed the code, retired the 704 sign, framing it in my workshop. My roses bloomed, my blues played, and the neighborhood breathed free. Cynthia's reign ended not with a whimper, but a handcuffed wail, all because she couldn't resist sharing what wasn't hers.